Good evening and welcome to the evening news on Osbc TV. My name is Tajuddin Amodu. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has directed state commissioners of police to tidy up their case files on electoral offenders in the 2023 general election for onward submission to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for prosecution. According to him, while case files of electoral offenders will be handed over to INEC, the police are already prosecuting those who committed other offences on election day. The IG, represented by the Commissioner of Police in charge of election planning, monitoring and evaluation, Basil Idegu, stated this in Abuja during a one-day conference on political parties, 2023 elections and the future of democracy in Nigeria. It was organized by the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies in Kuru, Jos, the support from the European Union to present the observation reports of the general election. He commended those who made the election a reality and for the role they played, especially the security and intelligence agencies, who worked closely with the police in ensuring that the mandate of securing the election was carried out successfully. In the meantime, the Senate has directed its Committee on the Interior to investigate circumstances leading to unwarranted delay in issuance and renewal of international passport by Nigeria Immigration Services. It also mandated the committee to investigate contract award for production of international passports and, in turn, its reports within 2 weeks. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion tagged delay on issuance renewal of international passport by NIS at plenary, sponsored by Senator Ekunife Lilian Uche. Senator Uche said the delay is creating untold hardship for Nigerians who need to travel out of the country or return, noting that the passport is an official identity document, but many Nigerians are still facing challenges over processing despite the 6-week timeline given by the federal government. The European Union has advised Nigeria to tighten security architecture at the seaport to help reduce its vulnerabilities and risks. The call was made at the closing ceremony of the Western and Central African Port Security First Mission Training in Nigeria for ports in Lagos. The mission, which started August last year, was sponsored by EU and driven by expertise France with the collaboration of the Nigeria Ports Authority and the Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. The team leader of the WECAPS, Nico Vertogin, said strengthening the security and safety of the West and Central African ports will help reduce vulnerabilities and risk, thereby increasing skills and vigilance. Vertogin called for perimeter fencing of the port, installation of CCTVs and access badges, among others, as a means to tighten the nation's port security. He explained that the WECAPS project is a partner project with experts giving their opinion on safety and security, accompanied by training. The managing director, NPA Mohamed Bello Koko, commended the EU for the WECAPS training mission to strengthen security and safety of ports in the West and Central African region. The Abia State House of Assembly has dismissed the purported impeachment of the Speaker Chinedum Hoji by some members of the House, led by his former Deputy Speaker Ifeanyi Uchendu. This was made public during a preliminary session of the House presided by the Speaker, where some members of the House sat in an undisclosed location, reportedly impeached the Speaker and elected Chukwudi Akpogho as the new Speaker. However, a member of the House, Jerry Osbc, during the preliminary described the move as unconstitutional, disgraceful and against the rules of the legislature. Osbc moved a motion that all members involved in the alleged impeachment move should be suspended with immediate effect and a new deputy speaker elected. The ongoing industrial action by organized labor comprising the Nigeria Labour Congress, NSA, and the Trade Union Congress, TUC, in Imo State has cut off the electricity supply in the state. A statement by the head corporate communications Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, Emeka Eze, said the industrial action has forced the transmission company of the Nigeria, which is the primary source of power supply, to shut down in the state. Eze further stated that as a result of this development, all customers of the EEDC in Imo State under its Owerri, New Owerri, Holu, and Mbase districts are out of electricity supply, pending when the industrial dispute will be resolved. It was learnt that after its Joint Central Working Committee meeting, the organized labor resolved that all affiliates of both the NSA and the TUC in Imo State are to withdraw their services. The federal government says over 13,000 Nigerians have been benefited from its various flood relief interventions across affected states in the country. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development disclosed this to newsmen during a meeting with relevant stakeholders in the humanitarian services in Abuja. Dr. Ogwazo said it is in addition to the implementation of Stabilization Fund projects in 6 local government areas in Northeast and Northwest, where 27,432 persons benefited. He noted that the states include Anambra, Bayelsa, Katsina, Kogi, and Benue. Others are Nasarawa, Kebbi, Sokoto, Jigawa, Bauchi, Delta, Rivers, Adamawa, and Yobe states. The final funeral ceremony of the late Oba Loyan of Iba Land, Chief Joseph Kehinde Alayande, commences tomorrow evening with Christian wake at his residence, Oba Loyan's compound, Iba, Osun State. A release by the family indicates that the funeral holds on Friday at St. Peter's Anglican Church, Ire Road, Iba, while interment follows immediately at his residence. The release has the attendance of guests held at St. Peter's Primary School, Playing Ground, Iba. The late Oba Loyan of Iba, Chief Alayande, who died at the age of 103, is survived by wives, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and relatives. Now to sport. Nigerian contingent dominated all events at the just concluded International Table Tennis Federation West African Regional Championship held in Accra, Ghana. The 4-day tournament has teams from Benin Republic, Togo, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and host Ghana competing in teams and single events. Fatima Bello of Nigeria set a new record after claiming the 4th women's single title to retain the laurel ahead of her compatriot Ajoke Ojomu, and the later become the first player with a single title 4 times in a row. Also in the men's single, Amadi Hume of Nigeria defeated former champion Oba Kizito of Cote d'Ivoire in a one-sided final. Host Ghana managed to claim silver and bronze in the team event, while Benin Republic, Cote d'Ivoire also made it to the podium. Now on the foreign scene, Russia has accused Ukraine of attempting an overnight drone attack on the Kremlin with the aim of killing President Vladimir Putin. The allegation was made by the Russian government. It is the most dramatic charge Moscow has leveled against Kiev since its war on its neighbor began. And on verified video circulating on Russia's social media showed pale smoke rising behind main Kremlin palace in the walled citadel after the purported incident. Russia officials said President Putin was not in the building at the time of the attack and there was no material damage to the Kremlin, as they warned of their right to retaliate. The Kremlin has assessed the action as a planned terrorist act, an assassination attempt on the president on the eve of Victory Day, the May 9 parade, adding that President Putin has not changed his schedule and is working at his Novo-Ogayovo residence outside Moscow. Meanwhile, senior Ukrainian presidential official Mikhailo Podolyak told journalists that Kiev had nothing to do with the alleged incident, suggesting Russia claims were a false flag, as it is clearly preparing a large-scale terrorist attack. That was the evening news on OSBC. Join us at 7 for the major reports. Good evening.